Hi, and welcome to Pillow Talk with Angela. I am such a fan of a good gangster movie, a good gangster series. The key word is good, and there is one that I am so hooked on from the very beginning. I do not miss one episode, and I'm so happy that they are back for another season. I'm talking about The Godfather of Harlem. You know what it is, Forrest Whitaker and company. Well, one of the stars of that series is all ours, and we get to talk to him. We get to meet him. His name is Elvis. I don't want to pronounce his last name wrong, and I hope I'm right, Nolasco. And you know his character. He's on every episode. He's a frequent on the series. And he's here with us, and we're going to ask him all about it. He is a star of stage, television, and film. And tonight he's a star of Pillow Talk with Angela. Hi, Elvis.
Hey, what's going on, Angela?
Do I seem excited?
You seem excited, but I think I'm even more excited.
Oh, thank you. You know what? When Heather, Allied, they're so good with bringing me the best of the best with the stars in television and film, things that are trending, things that are hot. And when she told me I had an opportunity to talk to you, I said, oh my God, how soon? Are you having fun? Are you having fun on the series?
I'm sorry?
On the series, are you having fun?
Oh my God, yes, I'm having a blast. But most importantly, just a lot of gratitude. As you know, as we all know by now, we were presented with such unprecedented times, and we took 8-9 months or so to be in that place where we were all at. That place of uncertainty, that place of, okay, well, when is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And then finally, by October, we heard from the network, and hey, we're going back. We got everything in place, all the guidelines, and I, as a team, couldn't be even more happier to be able to be back on set with my amazing co-stars. And amazing team, a crew. So yeah.
Oh, it's an amazing cast. Gianfranco Esposito. I mean, the list goes on, and even a lot of actors that I wasn't familiar with. I'm just growing to love them all. And we are live now, and I just want to thank the people who have stopped by and who have taken the time to comment. Isabella is here from Dubai, wishing you well. Jamal, hey, how you doing? Dale, hello. Well, all right, Elvis, yeah, you're right. These are unprecedented times, and Hollywood just shut right down. You didn't know when you were going to get back on the scene. But in the meantime, what were some of the things that you were doing to keep yourself occupied and sane?
Good question. I started by painting. So I started painting the house.
I thought you meant, I was going to say, let us see some of your work.
No, I started painting the house, and
nice.
And then from there, I kind of grew 2 green thumbs. So I was doing some landscaping and planning. And,
nice.
And then shortly after that, I got into writing. I've been working on a book, and I've been working on a screenplay. And the pandemic and quarantine was at first a little hard, tough to deal with. But once I zone in on my writing, I was able to accomplish a lot. So most of the time I was just writing, and I completed a feature film. And
oh my goodness!
Yeah, and I was able to complete the first, blueprint of a book I've been working on.
Very nice. There's been a lot of tragedy that has come out of this, of COVID-19. Very unfortunate, but there have been blessings. People able to spend more time with themselves, work on their hobbies, which could become a second career or another money stream. People get a chance to connect with their families in a way that they couldn't before. In my case, I spent more time with my pet, my cat. he's going to go through withdrawals once mommy starts working so hard again. But it's just really been good, and good for you for the reboot. For those who are just joining us, we are speaking with Elvis Nolasco. He's one of the stars of Godfather of Harlem. And let's talk about your character. All right. So that's Nat Pettigrew.
Yes.
Tell us about Nat Pettigrew. Tell us about your character and your relationship with Bumpy Johnson.
Well, Nat Pettigrew, his relationship with Bumpy Johnson goes back many, many, many years. He's one of his most loyal sidekicks or most friends, actually, because just based on the real Nat Pettigrew, he was someone that was always next to Bumpy. He was always someone who was involved in the business with Bumpy, not just as a person who was there to protect him and was there to make sure that things were executed. And I use things lightly, but you know,
and executed. That could mean a lot of different things in this show.
yeah, we know that in the underworld, you know, certain jobs had to be done, and certain jobs were allocated to certain people. So Nat Pettigrew is part of the family, I would say, the family, along with Chance, who's played by Eric LaRae Harvey. And so it's you got Junie Bird, which is played by Marquand Smith. You have Nat Pettigrew, Chance, and then you have Bumpy. So this bond, because the real Bumpy Johnson, with Bumpy Johnson, only kept a very close network of friends around him, and these guys are those people. So Nat Pettigrew is someone who is very loyal to Bumpy Johnson. He's someone that wants to grow in the business, in the industry, and he's someone that that knows and understands Bumpy. And what I mean by that is that, you know, Bumpy made sure that he kept these close people like family, because he knew that he could trust what was said, what was being seen, and it wouldn't go nowhere. It would stay within that family.
So important. And for those who haven't seen it yet, you have to watch this. It's on Epix, and it's every week. Tell us exactly when it is on, or is it different in every market?
Well, it's on Epix.
Right.
You could either download the app or tune in through your cable network to Epix, or the app Epix Now. And every Sunday, 9 p.m.
So it's Sunday.
Every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Just have your popcorn ready and
oh
ready.
Yes, the new season
go.
just started, and you know, Epix was kind enough to send me the first episode, but I ask you that because I want to make sure I do not miss one of them. You know, it's interesting. It is based on the life and career, if you will, of the real Bumpy Johnson. But how close is it to what he really went through in New York?
I would say that it's very, very close. You know, we have a man that it's a family man, and the real Elworth Bumpy Johnson was that. And Mamie, his wife, spoke on it. There's a lot of interviews on YouTube where you hear her speaking about that specific side of Elworth Bumpy Johnson, but also his relationship with Adam Clayton Powell and Malcolm X. That was a real relationship. And the show, intricately enough, does a very good job weaving the underworld with the civil rights movement. And you have these three amazing, bigger than life characters, real people that somehow, even though they had different missions, needed each other. They needed each other, and they worked together, not in public all the time, because, you know, Bumpy Johnson was not that person in public. But, you know, Adam Clayton Powell needed certain things, and so did Malcolm X, and so did Bumpy. So to be able to see that truth in the show is definitely, even I, who at one point was not aware of that information. When I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, what? These three men were friends, and they actually collaborated. But also,
honestly, I know either until watching the series.
Yeah,
It's historical, and as you said, there are so many layers, and it's brilliantly weaved all together to just keep you ready for the next week. You're like, yeah,
absolutely.
oh yeah,
And also on those same lines, I would say that the show definitely has the strong parallel with what's going on today. There's a lot of similarities that the show has made it their the show has made it their journey to make sure that with this second season, like the first season, that we continue to spark a light and to continue to show through the show those similarities and those parallels. And
yeah.
we know that in the 60s, we had a lot of riots, we had a lot of
Mhm.
protests, we had a lot of incidents between police brutality and the community in Harlem. And when we fast forward, we see that a lot has changed, but a lot still needs to be
A lot
needs to change.
still needs to change. You're absolutely right. And yeah, again, it's kind of a history lesson. Dale D. Hi, Dale said, Mr. Nolasco, what kind of music do you listen to? That's a good question, Dale.
That is a very good question.
Yeah, we want to know.
Man, I listen to all kinds of music, from Linda Ronstadt to Fleetwood Mac to
Wow.
El DeBarge, you name it, Odyssey. I'm a big 70s, 80s kind of guy, and I just love music from Nile Rodgers and Chic.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so I'm big with when it comes to music from the 70s and 80s,
yeah.
soft rock, little punk rock. And I love my family, Dominican descent. So I love
Ah,
my family's merengue and
oh,
salsa.
nice.
So yeah, my music taste really it springs throughout various
It's
different.
quite eclectic, which
Yeah.
is great. Yeah, it's great that you've got an appetite.
Thank you for the question, Dale.
That was a great question. And Alfred, hi, Alfred. He's an actor. Alfred Woodley. You guys might even know each other. He asked, where does the production take place?
The production takes place of Godfather of Harlem takes place in Brooklyn, New York.
In Brooklyn. Alfred said he's from Harlem. Ah, so you guys are you finished for this season
Yes,
filming?
all 10 episodes are completed, and the first
Only
six.
10? Come on.
I
We need
trust me. Listen,
more.
I felt the same way after 7 months. I was like, wait a minute.
Seriously.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, we're done. But the good thing about it is that with this season, you'll be able to see Bumpy's journey and where he left off in the first season, and now how he's now in this second season. Always thinking he's a chess player. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Bumpy Johnson is a chess player,
Yeah.
and he's always thinking ahead. He's like 5 or 10 steps ahead of everybody. So in this second season, you'll see how he taps into the French connection to be able to continue his empire.
Ooh, I love it. It's brilliant. So, okay, my radio show, Pillow Talk, is all about relationships and communication and, no matter what kind of a situation you're in, how to make it work. So I am compelled to ask you, of course, the relationships on the show, the women are very loyal to their man. I mean, they're in it, they're ride or dies in their relationships. But why is that? I mean, because they know what their husband is out there doing. What keeps the women so loyal? And I guess maybe it's the same thing that keeps, Bumpy's friends so loyal. What keeps those relationships so close?
Well, I think that when you watch YouTube interviews with Mamie Johnson, you will see that she was a big part of Bumpy's day to day, and she was someone who, aside from being the wife of this uh, intricate and diverse and interesting human being, she also had her own passions, so she kind of like had strong interest in the community, in helping the kids, in working with tenants associations and working with the people in Harlem. So she had her own interests, and I think that the writers have done a great service to the women in the show. Even when you see Vincent D'Onofrio, the Chin Gigante's wife, Olympia, you see that she is the backbone of that family
She is.
relationship.
Yeah.
Then you also see the journey of Elise and how she goes from being someone who's abused drugs to now being introduced to the Nation of Islam and
And that is Bumpy's daughter.
But yes, she plays that is Bumpy's daughter in the show. So I think that it's kudos to the writers to make sure that even though this is a show that might come off as a man gangster world type of show, that
the women are well represented.
Yes, that you have these women who are strong, who are empowered, and who are also have a voice. And I think that that's what you're witnessing. And I think that that's a very beautiful thing to be able to illustrate in this show.
I love that. Now, when I ask the question, of course, the comment section has to address it as well. Dale said maybe the women stay because of trust. And Alfred said it's because of the money. What do you think about that? Those gangsters are pulling it in. She's like, baby, I need a new Chanel. Do what you got to do.
Well, those are all good questions.
And good answers.
and good answers. Absolutely. And, listen, what woman doesn't like shoes and, expensive purses and stuff like that. But I think that also, women, listen, Bumpy started his empire by a woman that used to be the #1 numbers runner in New York, in Harlem at that time. So he got his start working for her. So, that's just the reality of it, on a personal level. My own grandmother in Harlem was a numbers runner. And, she had her bookies, and and this is true story, she had her bookies, and, she had me as her little right-hand man who would go door to doors to knock and get the
All right, Elvis. So you've come full circle. It's like, I'm not only a gangster, but I play one on TV.
Well, no, my grandmother was.
Okay. But you know what? It's so cool that you, what is that TV series on ABC that you were in, American Crime?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is kind of your thing. You found this is your niche, it seems.
Which is?
I mean, like crime shows. I mean, I love these types of shows, like gangster crime, things that really do take place, and just kind of understanding this part of America. Absolutely. Right? Part of our culture.
I mean, America is America, and it was founded under a lot of crime.
Kind of founded under, exactly. That is the truth of it all.
You have the Italian mafia, you have the Dominican mafia, you'll have the Polish. It's just something that is part of America. So
it's a big part of America. And like you said, founded on that. Yvette Spears, she's a brilliant jazz singer in the DC area. And she was relating to what you were saying about the women, that they're strong, yet supple. Yeah, they're nurturing. They come across very nurturing on the show. They're not, hardcore, but they're tough, and I love that. Alfred said, Madam Sinclair.
Yes, that's her name. Yes, she was the big numbers runner. Huge. I'm talking about, she had a lot of power and a lot of money.
Oh, that's your grandmother, Madam Sinclair?
No, that's not my grandmother.
Oh, I was gonna say, really?
That's the woman that the real life Bumpy Johnson used to work for.
Ah, very cool.
She was like a huge, big figure in Harlem, and her thing was numbers running, and she had a lot of money, and she had a lot of power, and she's the person that Bumpy Johnson started his journey with.
This has got to be so cool for an actor to be in a series like this. How did it start? How did you find The Godfather of Harlem, and how did they find you?
Good question. I audition like many
Mhm.
of us go through the process of
Mhm.
auditioning. Vicky Thomas was the cast, or is the casting director, rather say, excuse me. So I came in and I auditioned. They gave me like a 2-page monologue to memorize, and
Oh,
surprisingly enough, that same monologue was actually given to Eric, and I found out later. But however, that monologue never made it to the show, and he and I talked about it afterwards. Like, well,
you got all this in your head.
they make you do that
Yeah,
monologue. It's like, yeah, they made me do that monologue, but it wasn't mine. It was your character, but
that's
um,
funny.
so I went through the process of auditioning, and the first episode of season 1 is directed by John Ridley, and I have worked with John Ridley on American Crime. So I think a collaboration of a lot of
Nice.
things and came into the picture. But yeah, I auditioned for it, and then I tested, and yeah, and here we are.
I love that. They probably were looking at you and the Chance character and weren't sure because very similar. They
Yes.
probably weren't sure which one they wanted to put where. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Elvis, thank you so much for joining us. This has been
We're
so
done.
wonderful.
We're
We don't
done,
have to
Angela.
be. No, we don't have to be. I mean, there's so much. There is so much I would love to talk to you about. And, I know that you've got a lot going on. And, I just love you're getting so much love in the comments as well. Sonia is sending you hearts. And these are people from all over the world. Just really appreciate what you do. Oh, Sonia said, I am such a fan. Girl, listen, I know, I get it. Because from the beginning, and again, I was fortunate enough to do the very first screening of the premiere, and I do not miss an episode. So I'm so happy to hear that you're back. I mean, as far as they can stretch this out, I hope they do. Bumpy Johnson actually, he didn't live very long, did he? How old was he when he died?
Oh, I know he passed in '68, and you're absolutely right. He wasn't very old. Exactly what age did
No,
he?
that's okay. I
Yeah.
just say that because I hope they just milk this as long as they can. And
Well,
just because, it's based on a true story, they could just stretch it out. We don't want to
hey,
see this
the,
series
the
go
feeling,
away
the
in a long
feeling is
time.
the feeling is mutual, and there was a man named Frank Lucas who actually was his driver, and that turned into American Gangster, the movie. So I'm sure there's a lot of stories that can be just connected and told through this. But thank you so much, Angela. This has been
Oh, you're so welcome. Hey, maybe even a Nat Pettigrew spinoff. You never know. You
hey,
never know.
when your mouth say
To God's ears. Where can people connect with you? I'm going to connect with you also on
oh,
social media.
yeah, Instagram is Elvis Nasco, Nasco.
Oh, you
Um,
shortened it. Okay.
yeah, sure, because there was some other Elvis Nolasco out there. I was like, no, wait a minute. But yeah, through Facebook or my fan page on Facebook, Elvis Nolasco, and on Twitter, Elvis Nolasco.
Okay, we will find you. And, as we started off, it's been really rough for a lot of people. Gosh, it's over a year now that many people have been just social distancing, just hanging out at home, not really socializing as much as they want to. Even still, even vaccinated, people are still encouraged to be careful. And I know that you are a creative person and an inspired person. Are there any words of inspiration that you'd like to leave us with, to give to your fans, your followers, just to kind of, hang in there, keep being inspired and all of that?
Uh, yeah, I usually say two things, which is one, that a friend of mine, Junot Diaz, passed on to me. Junot Diaz is the author of The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. And he once said to me, "Hey Elvis, your neighborhood might let you down, your friends might let you down, society might let you down." He said, "Your passion will never ever let you down." So
Hmm.
the 3 P's: stay passionate, stay passion, patient, and perseverance.
Oh, yes. I am going to take that with me today. God bless you, Elvis. Thank you so much for spending the time.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I'm truly grateful.
And for all of you who are watching us, make sure that you do not miss him. He's in every episode. So you see him tonight. You're going to see him every week. Sunday nights, make sure you have Epix on whatever cable, however you get your movies or television. Epix, make an appointment every Sunday night to check out The Godfather of Harlem. Follow me on social media as well, at Angela Stribling on all platforms, and check out Elvis and I on Sunday night on the #1 station in the DMV, 96.3 WHUR. Pillow Talk with Angela. Have a good night.
Thank you.